Hello, welcome to Miemie's Keepsakes. I'm Marnell. I am here today for the garden story or hashtag journaljigsaw collaboration that Rach and Bella Craft is hosting at the moment. My prompt today is fabric pockets and rustic pins. And so I have a couple of weird things on the table. I have my iron here and some papers and fabric because I want to print on fabric today and show you how I do it. There's lots of videos out there to show you how to do this. This is just how I do it, and there's obviously lots of other techniques. Just first of all, not all printers will be happy to take your fabric. I have an HP printer. It pretty much prints on everything and anything I've put through it, but be careful, test your printer. I'm not responsible if anything happens to your printer, so just be sure to know that you are kind of taking a risk. Not that I want to scare you off from doing this, but just to let you know that I know my other printer, I had a Canon, and that did not like the fabric at all. So depending on if you know your printer well enough to know that it would be finicky with stuff like this or not. Anyway, I'll show you how to do it, and then you make your own decision and you take responsibility for your printer. I'm not responsible for it. Just full disclaimer before I start. Don't want people to let me know that their printer got damaged because they were trying to print on fabric. But you can always also buy printable inkjet sheets for your printer. Like I said, my Canon didn't even want to take that through, so it all depends on your printer. But enough about that. Fair warning and full disclaimer. So what I do is I just cut my fabric a little bit bigger than my copy paper, and then just iron it flat. And I just have a felt pad here underneath to protect my desk, but I mean, you don't need a felt pad. You can definitely do it on your ironing board, and just try to get rid of all those little threads and things that might be sitting on your fabric. Maybe use a lint roller, and the type of fabric I would suggest is to get, if you want a brighter print, use a white fabric. If you want a more muted print, then something beige would work perfectly. Then what I have here is deli paper, or the paper that they wrap meat in. As you can see, it has a waxy side and then a matte side. So you want to put the maxi side down, and again I've cut it the size of my copy paper. You put the waxy side downwards onto your fabric and then just iron it. You can also use now I can't remember, it'll come to me in a minute, but that is hard to find in refrigerator paper, I think that's what they call it, but it's difficult to find it in Canada. So I found this at a bigger store, and I just bought like a grocery store, went to the meat department and asked if I could buy some of this paper from them. And then just the meat paper takes longer to set than the waxy refrigerator paper, and then I just flip it over, because on this side you can actually see if the paper totally bonded to the waxy side of your paper, if the fabric bonded to the waxy side of your paper. You don't want bubbles in there, you want it to really bond, and just maybe leave your iron on spots that you're not sure, because the spots where it didn't bond totally to the paper, it will actually print like a dull, it will give you a duller print then. The other thing I have to say as well, if you're printing on fabric, it's not going to give you that crisp look that you will get from fabric in the stores. It's just the way it is, I suppose. I have tried numerous different kinds of fabric, but it always gives you a bit of a duller image than what the print would be on your paper, because I assume the ink just kind of absorbs into the fabric. Okay, I think that'll work. I'll just put my iron on the floor, and then I just go in and trim it as close as possible to my paper. And the reason why I cut it a little bit bigger is to make sure that it bonds really well with the edges of my deli paper or meat paper. And then the next step is to, if you know your printer well enough and you've done like double-sided printing manually, you will know which way your paper needs to go into the printer tray to print on paper, but we'll do that in a minute. I'll show you where it is located on my paper or my printer, and then go from there. Okay, so now your paper is ready to print on. So the next step is to add your paper, your fabric to your printer. And so if I open my paper tray on the here, it shows me that it prints on the bottom part of the paper, so it goes in this way and comes out that way. I'm going to put, so maybe just look for something similar on your printer. Going to put the paper in this way, and then I'm gonna go to my computer to order the print. So here I'm in front of my computer, and I'm just going to go to my downloads, and I've already downloaded the kit, so I'm just picking the paper I want to print. I go to File and pick Print, and then for my printing settings I go into, and yours might look different. I think it depends on what kind of computer you're using. I'm using an Apple and a MacBook Pro, and I'm have an HP printer, so I don't know if any of yours would look a little different, but kind of like this. So I press the downward menu there, and then I pick photo on plain paper, or you can even say photo on plain paper fine, because that's the best quality print. I'm not gonna do fill the page. If you say fill the page, it cuts off some of the image there, so I'm going to keep it with a border, and it's a little bit smaller in scale, which would be perfect for my pocket. And I'm just printing page one of page, and then I say print, and it's gonna print on my printer. And there it is. As you can see, I have not the exact same page, but this is how it would print on the copy paper, and this, as you can see, it's way duller on the fabric. I did use a white fabric, even though it doesn't look white at the moment, but there is your digital print on fabric. And we're going to make a digital pocket, or a fabric pocket. So all you need to do is take it off of this sheet, And this sheet you can actually use more than once for quite a bit of time, because there's still wax sitting on that sheet. And there is my printed sheet, my printed page. If you just look at the, let's put the two butterflies together, the color of the butterflies are definitely a little different than, like you can see the blues look a little bit greener, and I don't know, maybe this butterfly is green, but if you look at the colors here, it's not too bad. Anyway, so let's make a pocket, and I want to make, I was thinking of making the pocket on this page. And I thought I want this part, or do I want that part? I am going to cut it rather than tearing it. And how big do I want it? Let's cut down here. And I need it a little bit smaller because I do not want it to, I don't measure, so this is as close as I'll get to measuring. Oops. So I'm wondering if I want, I think I'm going to go this way rather than this, the right way. Nobody will know, because it will give me a little bit of a bigger pocket. And I could maybe cut it smaller. And this journal, I do want a lot of hand sewing, so I am going to sew around the pocket. Okay. I have a needle here, and then to make my pocket a little bit sturdier, I like to add some, I do this with my lace pockets too, and you definitely don't have to do it, but I just like to do that because it just makes it less floppy. I'm adding either tracing paper or vellum. This is a thin vellum, because especially if you're doing a lace pocket, the fact that it's see-through doesn't interfere with your lace. I'm going to cut that off. So that's it. And then I'm just going to, just because I want it not to move around too much, I'm just going to add, maybe I'll just do I can just do it with glue stick. I think I don't have to use, because I'm thinking fabric tack might interfere with sewing through the fabric. If I didn't want to sew, fabric tack would work, but let's just do it with glue stick, because even if it doesn't stick there permanently, I just want to sew through this and just keep it in place. Maybe if I'm lucky, it sticks. Let's get something to get rid of all the little bubbles. So now the fabric is a little sturdier, and I am going to maybe add, I was thinking of adding just some lace or something on the top. I have this doily. Maybe we'll add this doily on there. I do like that, and it's kind of the perfect size. And I'm taking all 6 strands of my DMC, and maybe I'll just do the same. I just want that doily to sit there while I am sewing through it so it's not moving on me, and I'm going to have that kind of peeking over, and I am just going to poke a hole through and sew around the edge of my pocket. And I'm going to make rather big running stitches. And I'm not sewing, I can sew it directly onto my page, but I do not want the sewing on the other side of my page, so that's why I'm just sewing it through my fabric here and not onto the page. I'm just going to glue it onto my page. And of course I am having sticky fingers with the glue stick in the back there. That's what I'm trying to say. Trying to concentrate. And so as you can see, I'm using, and I don't mind that it's not straight or even. I want it to have a more, you know, a hand sewn look. That's the whole idea. Okay, and then I'm gonna go down this way as well. Okay, so now I'm done, and because I'm gonna glue that onto my page, I am simply going to add a little bit of fabric tack here at the end and not even try to make a knot because my thread is too short here at the end. So I'm just gluing that on there. It'll be just fine. And then just making sure that my back page is right side up. I am going to glue this fabric pocket on here with my fabric tack, and I'm using fabric tack. You don't have to use fabric tack. You can I'm just using it because of the thread being adding dimension here on the back. It's not flat, and just to make sure it glues on there really well, because I also have the vellum back, and I'm making sure that I get glue on the thread, the embroidery thread, and then just glue it here on the bottom of my page. And there is my fabric pocket, nice and sturdy, and I'm going to leave that to dry, and we'll work on the rustic pin. So I just have regular pins here, and they won't look too bad on, but I need to do a rustic pin. So I'm going to pop them in this super blue, just any regular pin, and I just have it here in a little container, and I pop my pins in here, and it is almost an immediate reaction. As you can see there, it's already discoloring. Just leave it in there for a little bit. Like this one has a good color, so it's not rusted, but as you can see, it has this discolorations in the metal that I like. It's not bright and shiny anymore. I'm going to leave those in there for a little, oh maybe not, they are already looking good. You should probably use tweezers to get them out. I'm going to put them on a piece of paper, and then this I'll just leave in here for next time. So now you can see that these are not shiny anymore. They have a different color, more a rustic color. They're not rusted, but they kind of have that color or that look. Not new anymore, if you understand what I mean. So let's do a journaling card for this pocket. Which one will go in here? That one's a little small. I've done this before. I saw this in, I think it was Ruby and Pearl did this in one of her I'll link the video where I saw this, and I'll link the video that I made before. So I'm using a vintage postcard. I'm not particularly crazy about the image on the front, but I do like the back. It's a nice spot for writing. If you just want to write what you did during the day or some whatever, it's a nice spot to write on the back. It's already vintage, it is yellowed, but I don't like that. So I am going to use this to make a to decorate it and add to my, and I'm wondering, no, that is coming through, just to add another oh my goodness, I've lost my words, just to decorate this so I can use it and it goes with my journal. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I'm going to just, because I want to use the rest of my fabric on here and I don't want that to come through, I'm just going to add some copy paper on here, just as a base. Get my paper scissors. No, that's the wrong one. sure there's no bubbles and that it adheres to my postcard. And so for my rustic pen, I want this to sit on there and maybe this hanging down. Okay. Maybe I'll do the butterflies. I was just thinking, instead of just making this white, I can add this. I can add something in the back, and once this will be like a fabric flip on top. This will give you extra writing space, or I can add one of these beautiful images that Angela has in her kit. What shall we do for the background? Oh, this is the original page printed on paper. Okay, so now you can see the difference in color from the paper to the fabric. So it's actually not that big a difference, but it's definitely brighter on the paper. Anyway, let's continue adding. That might be less distracting. So I'm gonna put another layer of paper on here. I could have skipped the white paper, obviously, but I was thinking I'm gonna cover all of it, but my pen is not big enough. So a change of plans. And unfortunately this is double-sided, printed double-sided, but these are extra. I always print too many papers. Don't know if you do the same, but okay. There. So now I can use that as extra writing behind my rustic pen, and I can still change my mind if I want to. So let's see, where did I put the butterflies? There, they're hiding. Yes, I do like that behind. So I'm going to make like a, let's cut that white off there on the bottom. Okay, and then I have some sari silk here that I like for the top here. I can even put it on the bottom, but I'm thinking maybe on the top. And I want to cut this a little neater as well. So what else can we add? A little bit of this again, maybe. And I'm wondering, because I have to put the pen through, so we'll be, I just need to figure this out. I can put that through the pen. Let's see how it looks. Okay, I'm gonna put that on the bottom, this here, because I'm thinking maybe I should sew it around the pen. It's a little different than what I did last time, so maybe we'll do that. I do like that. Sew that around, and then we can have this go through here. Ugh. Ugh. It's not a smooth push through, and then have that on top of this. Yes, I do like that. I'm going to sew this onto my fabric again, and just same thing, just to keep it there in place. We're going to put some glue stick on there and add that to it, and then just a little bit of glue stick again for this. And what I want to do is, so this time I'm going to use a beige thread, and I'm just going to do an overcast stitch, and I'm going to hide my knot. I'm going to put it in between the layers of fabric here because I don't want it on the back. If you flip it over, I don't want to see the knot, so it's hidden in there. And then I'm just going, so you will see the stitches on the back. Just going to very messy, I don't know if messily is a word, but you can always invent one. Just kind of catch it and just sew it onto our piece of fabric. And I'm not pulling it too tight because I do like that bit of texture that it gives. And I wouldn't mind the sari silk kind of popping out in between the stitches either. Okay. There, so at the back you'll have those stitches, but I do like that. And then again, I'm going to hide my knot. If you like the knot showing, then definitely don't worry about that, but I think I do want the knot hidden. Just pulling it tight here, there, some scissors, and that is my, so I can just poke it through my postcard, but I want to sew it on there, so I am going to just do it with my, ideally I would use my pokey tool or my awl, but I can't see it right now. I'm just going to, I want to sew it onto the postcard. Just get that in the middle more or less there. So I am going to just, and just because again I want kind of like a messy stitch, and all would be easier, so I'm poking through some holes here just because it's a thick cardstock. And then this time I think, oh, did I make a knot? No, the knot can show, that's okay. Don't know why, but let's do it that way. And I'm just going to go through my, okay, not like that. I need to start the other way around. Okay. the knot will be on that side, because I just want to make sure that the safety pin is on here securely. I'm going to go, let me just show you again, through that loop of the safety pin to secure it onto the card, to the postcard. And then just go in that hole. Another one. And I think that is secure enough. And then we'll just make another knot here. Just pull it all the way down to your paper. And if you want to, you can even add some glue in behind there, but now you have a little fabric flip on a rusty looking pin, and then that will go on our page, and I will put it in the pocket with this kind of hanging over, I think. So that is my fabric pocket with a rustic pin. Thank you for watching. Please go to Rachel and Bella's Ko-fi shop and Angela's Etsy shop to buy these kits. They are beautiful. I am so excited working on this journal. It is vibrant, very it makes you feel very springy. I don't know, like a new beginning, these papers. So go to our shop. They are absolutely gorgeous, and buy some of these papers. I will link the linktree link. If you click on the linktree link in my description box, you will find all the other videos in this collaboration, and you can click on them and watch them. So thank you for Rachel for hosting this wonderful collaboration, and thank you to Angela and Rachel for creating this beautiful kit. It's a huge kit. You'll use this for a lot of journals, not just one or two. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.